Hey there, Southwest Florida. Meteorologist Jim Dickey here in the ABC7 Forecast Center. I'm sure you've noticed it's been fairly hot out there these past couple of days, to say the least. We've been breaking records nearly on a daily basis, especially in Naples. So these are from Monday. 89 degrees in the Naples area. That not only shatters the previous record of 86 set back in 1960, it also ties the all-time record for the month of February. There's been a couple times we've hit 89, a couple different days through the month, but it's the highest number we've ever seen in February at Naples Municipal Airport. And Fort Myers, 88 degrees, tying the record from 2001. Temperatures this afternoon, making a run at records once again, so wouldn't be surprised to see a couple records tied or broken today as well. And this has been sort of in place for the past 2 weeks or so. These well above average temperatures, highs in the 80s, lows 60s, if not 70s. So it sort of begs the question, are we finished with the chilly weather? Is winter over here for Southwest Florida? As I'm going to show you, at least for the rest of February, not looking like we're going to see anything in the way of chilly weather anytime soon. So it is important to note that it's still quite cold off to the northern portions of the country. It's not brutal, but we're still talking 20s for highs. Minneapolis, Boston, upper 30s, Cleveland, low 30s in Billings this afternoon. And notice the southeast, especially along the Gulf Coast, New Orleans, here in Fort Myers. Yeah, nice and toasty. And as to why you're not seeing sort of those brutally cold numbers, there's no single digits, there's no below zero temperatures out there, sub-zero temperatures. The core of the cold has migrated back north. The jet stream has migrated back north. It's now into Canada. You see it there in the Canadian Maritimes, that deep purple shade. You're looking at the temperatures at 850 millibars. So in the middle levels of the atmosphere, and it's showing you the air masses. I want you to note the position of the jet stream, though. It's the arrows I have on here. Diving south to bring some chilly air into California, and then sort of working from due west to due east across the U.S., sort of what's called a zonal pattern, and then out into the Atlantic. So still dipping down in the east, still allowing that chilly air to come in, but for the southeast, well to the north, so we're not getting that chilly air in here. And again, notice that position, and then look at this. This is what we typically see during a La Nina winter. We talked about this going into the winter, how in all likelihood it was going to be warm and dry. Of course, January didn't set up that way. We got plenty of cold air to work in. Well, now it looks like this pattern is finally locking in here for the southeast, in particular into Florida. So typically La Nina winters are defined by the jet stream staying well to the north of the southeast, cutting across the Midwest and then out the East Coast. And there's a persistent ridge of high pressure, a little bubble of warmth that sits over the southeast, keeping it above average temperature-wise and keeping it fairly dry. Certainly been the case for the past 2 weeks, and as I'll show you here, it's going to continue to be the case as we go through the next couple of weeks. So this is looking at the upper air pattern right now. It's actually going into Wednesday evening. Notice the giant yellow circle here. You're looking at, again, the upper air pattern, the sort of pressure differences. That yellow area, that strong high pressure, that persistent ridge I talked about, centered right over the Gulf of Mexico. That is a warm and dry pattern for us. When you have that high pressure locked in, you're not going to get Arctic air masses to move in. You're not going to get any fronts to be able to work its way into Southwest Florida. So certainly the case through midweek. But watch as I advance this through Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The ridge just shifts a bit further east, but still centered over Florida. We advance this forward into Sunday. Doesn't go anywhere either. Still, again, migrating a bit east, but still anchored over Florida. So we keep it warm, we keep it dry. And if I were to run this out an additional week, the same message. In fact, the models show this sort of, that ridge re-strengthening again and building back westward. So as far as the CPC is concerned, the Climate Prediction Center, this is done by NOAA. This is the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. This isn't saying that it's going to be well above average. This is showing you the percent chance of temperatures being above average. And you see the scale there. That's nearly 100% chance. The period from February 18th through February 22nd will be above average. This is the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. Same story. Nearly 100% chance all the way through the end of February, the 20th through the 26th, that we will be above average. And then we look at week 3 and 4 of the forecast. So 3 weeks out and 4 weeks out. So that's February 24th through March 9th. CPC doesn't quite go into that much detail because you get further out in the forecast, in the models, there's more uncertainty. But they're showing a better than 50-50 chance that really the entire southern and eastern two-thirds of the country stay above average. Again, that ridge looks to be re-strengthening and building back in. So if you're looking for chilly air and you want to get some in before the end of February, you're really going to have to travel north because we are locked into La Nina winter here in the southeast. We're going to stay dry. We are going to stay warm. Outside of, a couple showers on the sea breeze here and there, with that high pressure locked in, we're not going to get those fronts to move in. And this time of year, fronts really would bring us our rainfall. So warm and dry all the way into March. Beyond that, I could see a scenario where perhaps the pattern flips, at least temporarily. We get one or two more chilly spells. But I think for sure at this point, we have seen by far the coldest weather of the winter. We won't get anywhere near what we saw in January. Historically, that's the coldest month. We're past it now. We're not going to get anywhere near as cold as that. And because we're not going to get the fronts to work in, and likely the next 2 weeks going to be more or less bone dry, this is going to increase our chances of drought as we go into March and April, as we go into fire season. So that's something we'll be watching here. But again, if you're looking for some cooler weather, best book a flight north, perhaps Chicago, perhaps the mountains in the northwest. That'd be your best bet, because here in southwest Florida, La Nina winter is here. Looks like it's here to stay. We'll, of course, continue to track this for you at ABC7, so be sure you stay with us as we go through the next couple of weeks. Until then, meteorologist Jim Dickey, have a great day.